Hey guys, SpinoDude here and welcome back to another video. Today guys, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Jurassic World Mattel Battle Damage Stygimoloch Stiggy. So let's get this one out of its packaging. Alrighty guys, so here is the brand new Jurassic World Mattel Stygimoloch Stiggy, who is said to have a heroic role in the third act of Jurassic World, and we haven't seen too much of Stiggy in the trailers that they've shown so far. So I'm guessing that he or she is going to play a very important role in the film. And it's great to see an herbivore, and a more obscure one at that, stepping into the spotlight. So in our previous two Battle Damage figure reviews, we reviewed Battle Damage Blue and the Battle Damage Herarosaurus. And if you want to see an in-depth look at us looking at all the details of the packaging, all of the packaging is identical, so go check out the Velociraptor Blue Battle Damage variant review. Link will be down below in the description. But the only thing that changed on the packaging for Stiggy here is just the name at the bottom on the front, and then if we flip it over to the back, you can see it just shows a diagram of Stiggy with the action features, and instead of having Stiggy down here, it has Velociraptor Blue and the Herarosaurus. So without further ado guys, why don't we jump in and take a look at Stiggy himself, or herself. We have yet to confirm that. Alrighty guys, so here is the Battle Damage Stygimoloch from Mattel. And for first impressions, I am really digging the color scheme on this one. This is definitely slightly different from the color scheme we see in the film, but it's similar enough. Slightly brighter, and of course bright colors are going to attract children and stuff. So I really like the choice they've gone for here. Very tiger stripey. It almost reminds me of the Lost World Velociraptors. But anyway, why don't we jump in and take a look at the details and the articulation for this figure. Alrighty, so the details are pretty nice on this toy. We have a nice skin texture, and from a distance, you can't really appreciate the actual sculpt work that's done with the texturing of the skin and such. Because there are really no washes or dry brushing on these toys, it's just like one layer of paint pretty much, which is understandable because this is just a toy and it's not a collectible, but they do have some pretty nice details carved into the sculpt there. It's just a little hard to see. And for the articulation, you can move the tiny arms forward and back, and just like the other Battle Damage toys, you can pivot them outward like so. They didn't need to do that for this one because the arms are so small, but Mattel just keeps doing nice little things like that on the toys for play features and such. I think that's great. The head is very similar to Velociraptor Blue's in that it's a little bit noisy. It can catch at sometimes, but it can spin completely around like so. You can get some really nice expressiveness out of it. And then of course it moves up and down, and the further you move it back and the further you move it down, the harder it is to make it spin and turn to the side. But most of the time it's very smooth, and it just has a little bit of like a grindy noise to it, but it is very smooth. You'll just have to take my word for it for now because I can't have you test it for yourself, but very smooth mechanism and just a little bit noisy. Now the legs are articulated, but there's something about the legs that it's weird, and I'll have to show this to you. So if you move one leg back and then the other leg back with it, and then you try to move it independently, they both move together until they snap into position. I don't know why that is. You can even move the other leg first and then move this leg, and then if you grab this one, they both move. I don't understand that, and I don't know why that's a thing, but if you force them into place and then try to force them, doesn't sound too good. It does not sound too good. I'm not sure if that's just because it's very thin here or if I just got a defect perhaps, but kind of weird and disappointing in a way. Of course, I'm not going to be playing with this one like children are, so I'm just going to be posing it. It still works, and of course the legs pivot outwards like that, just a tiny bit, not as much as the Herarosaurus and Velociraptor Blue. But yeah, that is just a little bit weird and something I thought I'd note. I do like the sort of osteoderms running down the back and the different scoots along the body. I think that's a nice little detail, but of course, all of the great details come out in the face. You can see the eye is done very nicely there, quite set back into the skull. We have the nostrils carved out and all of the little barbs and spikes, which Stygimoloch is known for. Of course, in real life, Stygimoloch is widely known as a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus, but in Jurassic World, they could very well engineer their own species to make Stygimoloch its own species, so I'm fine with it and I think it's a great species choice. And then of course you can see all these spikes on the back of the head there, done in a glossy gray color to make them stand out, and the dome has been slightly airbrushed or dry brushed or something in like a white color. There are some marks and scratches on mine, unfortunately, but it doesn't bother me too much, just that one that sort of shows too much orange there. And then of course the beak is done in a gray color as well, and you have those lovely dark reddish brown markings on the face and the consistent darker orange color along the body with the small little speckles of black in the plastic there, and then the underbelly is done in a tan color. And then of course on this side you can see the battle damage feature. How this works, if you didn't know, is you make the dinosaurs battle. Whichever one activates the battle damage feature first by tapping it, it's spring-loaded, wins. And you can see it reveals a wound for the Stygimoloch there, and you can just close it and it snaps back into place. Now what I've mentioned in my previous reviews is that I think this works much better and it feels more stable and feels like it can be used over and over again by a kid without breaking. But Hasbro's I think actually looked better. They concealed the battle damage much better in my opinion. They didn't have these trigger buttons on the top, and the gaps around the side were a little bit less conspicuous, but overall I think it looks alright. I have mine displayed from this side anyway on my shelf. But yeah, it's great to be able to get a Stygimoloch toy this early because there is a Pack Attack variant of Stiggy coming out and doesn't have as much articulation as this one. That one's coming out in Wave 2, I believe, alongside the Pack Attack Herarosaurus, the red variant. Alright, so why don't we do a quick measurement of this figure. So in terms of the length from the tip of the snout all the way to the tip of the tail, we're looking at about 7.5 inches, which is about 20 centimeters. And if we lean Stiggy all the way back to his or her highest standing position in this toy, in terms of the highest point, at the highest point, which is the top of the dome on the head there, we are looking at about 5 inches, which is about 13 centimeters. For comparison, I thought I'd bring out Battle Damage Velociraptor Blue, which still holds up to be my favorite of the Battle Damage line. I also thought I'd bring out the mini Stiggy, the Stygimoloch, from the Walmart exclusive Battle Damage minifigure set. And I thought I'd bring out the very recently reviewed Battle Damage Herarosaurus from Mattel. And we can't miss comparing these figures to Funko Pop Dr. Ian Malcolm, who's just going to completely block them there. Alrighty guys, it's time for my overall rating on this toy, and I think that this brand new Jurassic World Mattel Battle Damage Styggy the Stygimoloch deserves 3 stars out of 5. A good rating. I really like the sculpt here, I really like the color scheme, even though it's not quite the exact color scheme that we've seen of Stiggy in the film. The articulation is very nice, but I think one thing that brings the rating down is just the little glitch, for lack of a better words, with the articulation in the legs. I think that sort of detracts from it, and it feels a little bit stiff in that area as well with moving the joints. But overall, this is a very nice toy. Kids are going to love this one, and especially you could bring the head down and have it headbutting the other battle damage dinosaurs. Let's actually bring out the Herarosaurus quickly for a demonstration. So kids are going to play and they're going to have Stiggy headbutt the wounds, and there you have it. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, this is a Walmart exclusive. The whole Battle Damage line is currently in the United States. It's a Walmart exclusive. And I hope Mattel expands on the Battle Damage line as well. I know there's a second wave coming out, but I hope that they release more for Wave 3 of the toys, because it would be cool to see, because these are really nice. So hats off to you at Mattel once again. Keep doing the good work over there. Well, there we go guys, that was today's look at the brand new Jurassic World Mattel Battle Damage Stygimoloch Stiggy. I think this toy is great. It is my second favorite out of the Battle Damage line so far, the first being Velociraptor Blue, of course. And I just had to pick this one up because Stiggy is going to be a pretty big character in the film, it sounds like. So if you guys want to get this one for yourself, I recommend checking out your local Walmarts if you live in the United States. The Battle Damage line is very common in Walmart for being a Walmart exclusive. All of the Jurassic World toys from the first wave are available as of April 16th, 2018. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment telling me what you think of this brand new Stygimoloch toy. So thank you so much guys for watching, and as always I will see you in my next video. Take care, and bye-bye.